Good morning. Today is February 19th, 2026. It is currently 11:43 a.m. And once again, I did not wake up early like I intended to. I've been really struggling with that lately, and I guess it's because my sleep hasn't been the best, but I have been going to bed at the same time I always did, uh, 10 o'clock. So I thought I would be able to wake up at 6 like usual, but it's been, I think, a week or two since I stayed up late, and it's still having an effect. Uh, yeah, that's unfortunate, but I think I'll get back on track soon. Today, I'm fortunate enough to be working from home, and I'm absolutely swamped at work. I'm kind of forcing myself to take my lunch break, and I haven't done this yet, so I wanted to do that. Make sure I get it done in the morning. But yeah, I guess I'm thinking about work today. That's the main thing on my mind. There's a lot going on, a lot of emergencies that you have to get done that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it matters to your job, so you've got to get it done. And I find I love my job. I'm a programmer, developer. I love building web applications and designing UI and like building a user experience. And I feel fulfilled in the sense that the applications I develop are directly helping people. Uh, Not just the people who use the applications, but the people who benefit from those people who use the applications, uh, which is everyone in my province. And that feels good to me. It gives my work meaning, and I I really don't want to leave my job or stop working here. But the parts I don't like are the red tape, the kind of paperwork stuff that happens in the background with um, change management, creating CRQs and cutover plans, and all these things that just feel like noise. Um, and those to me don't have meaning. They don't improve anyone's life. They really just make my job more difficult. But I know it needs to be done from an auditing perspective to make sure we have a history of all the changes we're making and who's doing the work and all this stuff. Uh, but in my mind, those don't help. Once we create a CRQ, a change request, and we go through the process of implementing a change in the application, it's like that change request is gone. We've never looked at any of the old ones. We've never needed to, at least, except to create the new ones and look back and say, how did we create this one? Here's how we'll create this one. And until now, they've always just been an annoyance, like a process that I can do and get through and whatever, it's fine. But recently, they are putting even more pressure on us to add additional info to the CRQs and uh, meet more strict timelines where we need to submit everything even earlier, and just a lot of obstacles that kind of prevent me from doing the development work that I love. And it is painful, stressful, and tiring. And I don't love that part of my job. And I'm trying to find ways to make that easier, but the processes keep changing, and I can't find a way to make it back to being just an annoyance. or just a task on my list. It's like constantly something I have to be focused on instead of the important parts of my job. And I think a lot of people who work in an office can relate as well to the pointless meetings you might have. Hours spent talking about things that aren't important or that don't even relate to you, but you need to be there because you might miss something, but really you won't. And I remember when I started working here, and we used to have meetings like that every day, multiple times a day. My calendar was just booked full of meetings for like every week, and it was exhausting, and I didn't understand how anyone could get anything done. And I guess in a way we didn't, because there were deadlines that we missed, and we kept having to extend the project, and it didn't work. But we learned from that, and we were able to make changes, and now I've only got one pointless meeting a week, and maybe a couple important ones that are actually great and valuable and kind of make a difference. But that was something that we had control over. Our team internally, we were able to look back on kind of the feedback we got from everyone on the team and realized those aren't valuable meetings. And we were able to just take them out or find other ways to kind of communicate information that was easier for everyone to manage. But these changes now to these processes for change requests are not from within our team. They're not anything that we have control over. They are organizational changes that are coming from who knows where, and we just have to listen. And if we provide feedback, it's ignored or, acknowledged, but with no intention to make changes. And that's, I think, where a lot of my frustration comes from. It's an inefficiency that we can't make efficient, and kind of a waste of our time. And I'm trying to find ways to explain that explain to myself that it's not a waste of time, that there is value in doing it. But when we've had a history of doing these things and never seeing value, it's really hard to convince myself. So today's a stressful day, but I'm just trying to remind myself that it's not a big deal. That once I get this done, I can focus on the parts of my job that I love. I can go back to making a difference and just working on important things. I just have to get through it. And I guess my stress is it's kind of under my control. Like, yes, these are things I need to do, but I don't need to be stressed about it. Maybe I could put less importance on it, or don't force myself to try so hard to make it perfect. Maybe it's an opportunity for me to kind of release some expectations around my quality of work and just focus on getting it done so I can move on to the important things. Yeah. And it already feels much better just talking about it. So I'm glad I took time to, I guess, discuss it now. But I've got to have my lunch and then get back to work. Have a great day. Bye.